on behalf of SCORA and the host club and all the paddlers in SCORA, I just want to thank you for stepping up to be an escort captain at one of our races, and we really hope you have a great time and enjoy the experience. Just talk with your team and you should have a lot of fun. Watching this video should give you a good understanding of how these change races work and what your responsibilities are. Before race day, these are the things that you should do.
Keep your heads on a swivel. You are released for your first change. It's 30 minutes. You're released for your first change.
So you want to show up at the port, find out from the race director what time to be there, find out about parking. Get there, all skippers must check in with the director or the club for crew assignments and finalize any documentation. So there'll be a registration area set up, as you can see here, and they'll be able to make sure that you're taken care of, you're checked in and accounted for, and get you headed towards your crew. You want to go over the escort protocol with the director, including loading, where you're going to load, safety stuff that you have, the start line, location of vessels prior to first change, approaching the canoe racing field, watching and maintaining your wake safety. This information may also be discerned over the radio. And also you can go online at scora.org. Ideally, before the crew comes on board, you should inform all participants on the vessel of your safety precautions and race day assignments and responsibilities. So you want to coordinate with the crew, find out who their change coach is, decide who the spotter is going to be, and make sure that everybody on the Outrigger crew and everybody on your crew is synced up and knows who's going to be giving what communication during the race. Before loading the boat, one main person should be selected to become the sole spotter and communicator in regards to the persons in the water, usually coach of that crew. So the spotter or the change coach is going to be the person who's really keeping an eye on the live bodies in the water, and they'll be communicating with you as skipper where they are. You're also going to be looking out for, and the spotter will, other people from other canoe crews that are in the water. Okay, so you're at the dock, the paddlers come in, they have a bunch of backpacks, coolers. You want to think about where is that equipment going to go. They're going to have packs with them with towels and things to change into if they need to, if it's a long race. So you want to find places on your boat where they can store that stuff, hopefully keep it dry, get access to it, and you won't be tripping over it during the race. Have crews load gear before launching your vehicle. When all hands are there, then they can assist in the launching procedure. Okay, so now you've launched. You have your 3 extra paddlers on the boat, you have your spotter, and the 6 paddlers that are starting the race in the canoe or out in the canoe. You're heading out to the start line. So before the race actually starts and after the start, you want to stay behind the canoe by at least 100 yards. The first part of the race is the time for them to spread out so that you'll be able eventually to get in there and make changes.
Red flag waving, big red flag.
Here we go, guys.
Green flag.
Green flag.
It's on already, yeah.
1 second in.
You'll follow the established official boat perimeter. They'll let you know where you need to be, and you'll wait until the go-ahead signal is received before you pull in to make your first change. Usually it's about 30 minutes.
Captain, you see that kayaker over there?
Okay, you do not want to charge through the pack. That will produce unnecessary wakes for others, and it's considered an infraction. So they can actually be penalized if you as an escort captain charges through the pack and affects other canoes. As you can see in the diagram, There are 3 operating zones for Escort boats. These are the high-speed zone, which is greater than 100 yards out from the perimeter of the field of racing canoes as defined. Speed is unlimited there. Number 2 is the minimum wake zone. This is reduced speed in this area so that your wake is significantly reduced and does not enter the field of canoe racing. 10 to 15 miles per hour is good for this minimum wake zone. And then the no wake zone is reduced speed to match your canoe, or slightly higher as required to intercept it without producing a wake that interferes with the other canoes. That's usually about 7 to 10 miles per hour.
Out here, keep your heads on a swivel. You are released for your first change. It's 30 minutes. You're released for your first change.
Here we go.
Once clearance to move up has been given by the officials, move to a position that is 100 yards minimum to the outside of the field of racing. So that would be out in the high speed zone.
So we in the speed zone, Bruce. Speed zone! Yeah!
Move up alongside the pack in the high speed zone until you are a few hundred yards ahead of your canoe. Once you are a few hundred yards ahead of the canoe, slow down and work your way slowly and carefully through the pack until you are in the escort position near your canoe, which is approximately 45 feet away and no farther forward than seat 5.
We always want our captain to be about at seat 5 with the nose of the motorboat, and you always want to be on the AMA side.
Get away, Amy! Nice, Mindy!
Establish communication with the canoe and determine what the next change will be and when.
135! 135!
When it's time to make the next change, turn so that your boat is perpendicular 90 degrees to the direction of travel of the canoe, and slowly and carefully work your way out of the pack and into the high-speed zone without interfering with any of the canoe.
At my canoe here on the right, the blue boat, the white AMA, and in front of them there's a nice gap between the 2 lead boats. So for the first change, my strategy will be to come in behind the first 2 canoes, cross over, get on the other side, and then I can meet up with my canoe safely and without creating too much of a wake. So if I look behind my canoe, there's too many canoes tightly packed, so there's no room to get in behind there. So my best strategy is to go up towards the lead boats behind them and duck hook around and get on the starboard or non-AMA side of our canoe, the blue one.
As you approach your canoe's line of travel, shift to neutral and allow the boat to drift across the line of travel, dropping the relief paddlers in the water as you cross that line. The goal is to not produce a wake that interferes with the racing canoes.
Go! 2-4!
Burn up, guys!
2-4!
Burn up!
2-4! Motors off. Motors off, guys. Stroke easy glide. The old man get on the boat yet? Hang on, hang on.
After the relief paddlers are well clear of your stern, at least 10 yards, you want to re-engage your engine and reposition the boat so that you're clear of the canoe's line, but close enough that you're both protecting the people in the water from other boats and you're ready to pick up the new paddlers that will be getting out of the canoe. Never back up towards paddlers that are in the water. After the paddlers have gotten out of the canoe and the canoe has cleared away, slowly and carefully move the boat to pick up the paddlers, making sure Your spotter can clearly see them the entire time. Once within 20 to 30 feet of the paddlers in the water, shift to neutral and allow them to swim to the boat. Another canoe is approaching, you may need to move slightly to clear its line so that you are not interfering with it. Do not, under any circumstances, back down to pick up paddlers or to drop off paddlers. Should never be in reverse backing down when there's paddlers in the water. In rough conditions, wait for a lull in the swell activity to board paddlers, being attentive to the swell and paddler location. Should also assist paddlers onto the vessel with consideration to paddlers' ability to get onto the ladder, swim step, or other loading device. Have a line with float attached available for assistance in case it's necessary. Know your location and course and take radio charge if your vessel is involved in an emergency. Also, maintain VHF radio contact for important potential race communication. Escorts participating in SCORA races must be properly equipped. All required equipment by law must be aboard each vessel. Equipment required by law: personal flotation device of proper size of each person aboard, including relief paddlers and those in the canoe, if they aren't stored in the canoe while racing. First aid kit, visual distress signal, sound signaling device, required race equipment, operating marine radio, no handhelds as your primary, ladder or device to board the vessel from the ocean, minimum 40-foot tow line, anchor line may substitute if it's the proper size, a 5-gallon bucket, adequate drinking water for everyone, adequate fuel and proper storage of such. All Escort boat skippers must use their discretion and carry aboard other safety gear. Check out links on SCORA's website, scora.org/education. Safety, handbooks, and links. Arriving at the harbor and after the last change, have the paddlers aboard your boat gather up their gear in preparation for unloading. Due to limited dock space at all of the venues, please be prepared to have other boats side tie with you at the dock. Because paddlers may need to cross from one boat to another, it's also recommended that you have a towel, doormat, or other items to help reduce the amount of dock crud that accumulates on your boat. Ramp dock courtesy and exercise patience. This will make the process faster and easier for everybody. Okay, here's some important basic safety considerations as an Escort boat. Remember, first priority is safety. Review safety rules for your boat with the team before the race. Never leave a paddler in the water unattended. Escort boats are not in the race and do not need to get to their canoe first. Take your time, be safe. Keep a sharp lookout for people in the water, canoes, and for other boats. Inland and international rules of navigation apply at all times. You must slow to 5 miles per hour when you're within 100 feet of a person in the water. Watch your wake. The canoes are easily capsized or swamped by boat wakes. If your wake swamps or capsizes another canoe, your team may be disqualified. Exercise courtesy and patience at all times. Don't allow yourself as skipper to be distracted. No consumption of alcohol during the race. Limit radio use to what is necessary. Operate defensively. Don't assume the other guy is paying attention or going to follow the rules. Fun out there, and if you have any concerns at all, talk to the coach on board and they will give you the heads up on any issues that you might face. Thanks a lot. Bye.